Now we got 101 facts about Scotland. Who approved these facts? That's what I want to know. Because, like, I feel like I could make a video and be like 101 facts about America. But, like, who said, where, how do we know this is real?
This is a test sentence. This sentence is a test. Greetings, motherfuckers, and welcome to this rugged edition of 101 Facts.
Yeah, totally
My
successful.
name is Sam. Yes,
like
I'm
an hour
back from
ago.
getting trapped in the monkey enclosure at the zoo. Thank you, Chris. And I'm here today to talk to you about a country absolutely caked in beauty and whiskey and bagpipes and kilts and haggis and other stereotypes that aren't actually reflective of the real place. Yes, it's Scotland. Because the Scottish love nothing more than an Englishman explaining the details about their country. If it helps,
I know that was
Irish.
it. I added it to the
But
queue.
what unique sports are at Scotland's very own games? Which pretty essential inventions do we have the Scots to thank for?
These niggas
And
made
can I get through
wrenches?
this whole video without attempting a Scottish accent? Can I? I hope I can for my own safety. 2 out of 3 of those questions are going to be answered, so let's get ready to go to a land, up over, rather than down under. At least it is to England anyway, with 101 facts about Scotland. Number 1. Scotland is not a theme park, but a country, and a part of the United Kingdom, covering the northern parts of the island.
Who the fuck thought it was a theme park? Who thought it was a theme park?
Of Great Britain. We might just have to wait and see how long that fact's accurate for, but right now in 2021, Scotland is still a part of the UK. Number 2. The Scottish mainland borders northern England along the Anglo-Scottish border, as you can see here. This border was established all the way back in 1237 at the Treaty of York. That's the year, by the way, not the time. It's approximately 96 miles long. The Proclaimers would have to walk across it 5.2 times to make good on their vacuous promise, and then do the same thing again. Number 3. Scotland's capital city is Edinburgh, which confusingly is spelled like this. It's an important place for reasons we'll get to later, don't you worry, but just one of them is that in 1824 it was the home to the world's first fire brigade. So without Edinburgh, we'd probably just have to use a tap or something against a house fire. Number 4. It wasn't always the cap, though. Dunfermline used to be the...
How we know, bro? Like, how we know? So you telling me they invented high pressure hoses? How we know? Like, who? I don't know about that.
Capital of Scotland. In fact, 12 of Scotland's own kings and queens are buried in the town's abbey. Number 5. While Edinburgh is the capital, Glasgow technically beats it because it's bigger, and has a population that's also larger. The number of them, I mean, not the physical size. Although I don't...
What the fuck was that?
A population that's also large.
Why is it? What is this? Is this like another? Why? I thought this was a walkway at first. I was like, why is there a car driving on it?
The number of them, I mean, not the physical size. Although I don't... Number 6. The population of Scotland as a whole is 5.4 million. Which I guess is small when compared to, you know, the likes of you American lot with your states and stuff, but hey, Scotland has New Asgard.
AKA a real country.
In it, or rather where they filmed it for Avengers Endgame, so, there. Number 7. The word Scotland comes from the Latin word Scotia, a word that was used to describe Irish settlers in both Ireland and Scotland. So Scotialand sort of makes sense, just without the, you know...
Wait, so Scotland came from Irish people? So Ireland invented Scotland? What the hell?
Aye. Oh, and the Gaelic name for Scotland is Alba. Languages, eh? Number 8. But look, those are some broad strokes. Let's go for some good old-fashioned history here, okay? We can look back as far as the Paleolithic era for Scotland, to around 12,000 BC. During this period, it was home to an advanced alien race with huge technological advantage. Of course, I'm joking. It's the usual. There were small groups of hunter-gatherers who lived there, surviving just off the land. Number 9. They then stayed that way for around 8,000 years, with the next notable change in around 4,000 BC, when folks started claiming Scottish land as their own and using it for farming. It was around this time that people started using proper shelters and houses and making pottery, we all need a hobby, as well as weapons and utensils, some of which are still being discovered today. Number 10. Like most societies, Scotland continued to develop throughout the Bronze and Iron Ages, making better tools and weapons, and laying further importance on wealth and social status. Let's be fair, that last bit hasn't really changed. Number 11.
Yeah, Trolley, you can gift 2 subs and we'll check out your request immediately.
AD, when the Romans showed up, like they seemingly did bloody everywhere. Whilst they were successful in the south of the UK, they were actually effectively fought off by native Celtic tribes, named the Caledonians and the Picts. Number 12. After the Roman invasion of Scotland, the country was divided into a series of kingdoms. the four most important of which were the Picts, the Gaels of Dalriata, the Britons of Alt Clut, and the Anglian kingdom of Bernicia. Number 13. And then, as they so often do, the Vikings arrived in the 8th century and established themselves most successfully in the Scottish islands and coasts. As the Norsemen continued their successful conquerings of Britain, Scotland consolidated their kingdoms and became the Kingdom of Alba. Number 14.
What is this, just the history of Scotland?
Is credited as the first king of
what the fuck are
Scotland,
we doing?
as he's believed to have founded the country in the year 843. The first fully recorded king of the country, though, was Donald MacCorstantin, who was documented as the King of Alba in the year 900. Number 15. Fast forward to the thousands now, and Malcolm II, who was a rival dynasty, acquired the throne by killing Kenneth III. Afterwards, he focused on expanding his territory southwards and excelled with victories like the Battle of Carham. Number 16. I'm sure you've all heard Macbeth as the name of William Shakespeare's play, but it was also the name of Scotland's king from 1040 to 1057. Shakespeare very loosely based his play on Macbeth's rise to the throne. A lot of the characters were real historical figures, but yeah, it was an artistic interpretation.
Wow.
Number 17. Between the first king of Scotland in 843 and 1173, things were pretty chilled in Scotland. If you don't count all the treason, that is, because there was so much of it that we'll have to gloss over it. We'll be here all day otherwise. Number 18. In 1173, though, Scotland entered a revolution against Henry II of England. To cut a long story short, Henry II's sons and wife started a rebellion against him because Henry promised some castles to his son John, and heir to the throne Henry was annoyed because he couldn't use them to reward his knights or aristocrats. To be fair, they were supposed to be his inheritance, but anyway.
Damn, so you just wanted extra shit?
So
Get the fuck out of here.
Involved?
Get the fuck out of here.
Looking their castles. Then Scotland's King William I.
They had all this land? Why didn't niggas just build more castles?
The English royalists during the Battle of Alnwick and was transported.
That's what's crazy. Like, as soon as niggas got weapons, they were like, why would we work when we could just force people to do it? I'll just come steal your shit. Why would I build my own castle? That just doesn't even make sense.
To Falaise in Normandy.
Oh my God, but they would need everything that comes with the castle. And they don't have the people, so they would need to take you and all your slaves. That's why he wanted the shit that was already developed, because you don't want to start, you don't want to just have an empty castle and then have to fill it yourself. That's a lot of work. I get it. It makes sense.
Number 20. Here, William was pretty much forced to sign the Treaty of Falaise, which essentially gave up Scottish sovereignty and handed it over to the English. The treaty was later completely annulled by King Richard I when he wanted Scotland's help during the Third Crusade in 1189. Number 21.
1181!
During the 13th and 14th centuries, Scotland saw several wars of independence from the Kingdom of England. It was very back and forth depending on who was in power, so I won't go into the details of it, but with the Declaration of Arbroath in 1320, Scotland remained independent. Number 22. Ooh. That War of Independence and the revolt against King Edward I of England were the
flaming
setting of the
sword
iconic movie
fights?
Braveheart. William Wallace is that Scottish guy with the blue face paint from the memes. You know, the one who shouted, "They will never take our freedom." Number 23. The next and arguably most important period in Scottish history is the reign of the Stuarts. The first Stuart King, Robert II, took to the throne in 1371, but the most famous of the Stuart monarchs is Mary, Queen of Scots. Number 24. Mary became Queen of Scotland in 1542, aged just 6 days old.
Who owns those cliffs,
the baby couldn't actually rule, so regents
like,
ruled the country in her place
that
until
land?
1561 when she returned to the throne, after her husband, King Francis II of France, died.
Damn.
Number 25. During her reign, her second husband, Lord Darnley, was killed in an explosion.
Why do they look like
Mary
that?
and her third husband, James
Like they're like 10 years old.
subject to an uprising that would have them imprisoned. Mary attempted to regain the throne later on, but failed and fled to seek help from her cousin, Queen Elizabeth I of England. Number 26. Probably not the best idea, though, as Mary had previously voiced her claim to the English throne and was seen by some as a legitimate sovereign of England. So Elizabeth,
England has had women
her for 18
presidents
years
or whatever
1587,
forever.
when she was beheaded for treason.
God damn.
Number 27.
Somebody called
Mary
her a
had
witch
son
in
with
public.
Lord Darnley, her second husband, and after Queen Elizabeth I died in 1603 without having any of her own children, and thus no heirs to the throne, Mary's son James VI became King James VI of Scotland and King James I of England, resulting in what's known historically as the Union of the Crowns. Number 28. Despite having the same monarch with one big crown, Scotland and England were still governed as individual states. This would continue for another century until 1707, when the Act of the Union was passed, creating the United Kingdom of Great Britain, which encompassed Scotland, England, and Wales. And we all lived happily ever after, and nothing bad happened to us ever again. Number 29. Not everyone was thrilled with this union though, and this led to the rise of the Jacobites in Scotland. One of the most famous leaders of the uprising was Charles Edward Stuart, although not the same Stuart as before. He was also known as Bonnie Prince Charlie. Number 30.
Bonnie Prince
The
Charlie.
Bonnie Prince attempted to reclaim the Scottish throne for the Scottish lineage, but after decades of battles, the Jacobite cause failed when Charles Edward Stuart died without a legitimate child in 1788, followed by his brother Henry in 1807. Number 31. The Jacobites were no doubt also fueled by the Highland clearances, which began in 1746, when the British imposed laws to assimilate the traditional Highland clans. Their tartans were banned and clan chiefs had their rights removed. Their land was then transformed for farming, and rural areas were depopulated to favour the booming fishing industry in coastal towns. Number 32. After the Act of the Union and the fall of the Jacobites, Scotland entered what we call Scottish Enlightenment, where the country's major cities saw an influx of intellectual improvements, with more buildings like universities, libraries, and museums being built. Number 33.
This is when the aliens
Around
visited.
the turn of the 19th century, Scotland was also changing economically with huge advances in industry, particularly in coal mining, shipbuilding, and textiles.
This was in the
also became prevalent around this time
1300s?
because of their status in the tobacco trade. It's kind of apt
What
for
the
the cough
fuck?
there, really. Number 34. Scotland continued its development steadily, and then the First World War came along. As part of the United Kingdom, Scotland played a major role in the two world wars, especially in providing ships, machinery, food, and
Oh yeah,
money,
my
as well
dates
as
were way
soldiers,
off.
obviously. Number 35. Because of the huge boom in economics provided by the demands of the war effort, once the First World War was over, Scotland was hit by the Depression, much like the Great Depression of the United States. Number 36.
It'd be like that, man.
During the First and
Sometimes
Second World
you
War,
just run out of shit
Scarborough
to
in
do,
Orkney
bro.
was a
You
very
gotta start
important
fighting
Royal
again.
Naval base. The Shetland Isles also
Everybody
played
was
an
just
important role
bored.
due to their fairly close proximity to occupied Norway. Between 1941 and 45, the Shetland bus operation helped many Norwegians flee the Nazis. Number 37. The slightly confusingly named Scotsman Sir Robert Watson Watt is credited with the invention of radar technology. He and his assistant Arnold Frederick Wilkins used radio signals to locate aircraft at long distances, which was one of the most valuable technological and tactical advancements during wartime in Great Britain. Number 38. After World War II, the economy of Scotland once again suffered with the post-war depression. This time though, while some industries continued their decline, the Scots found a new source of economic success in the North Sea. Oil.
What?
It was a big deal because it was the first source of oil that the UK themselves had made.
Oh
Number 39.
shit.
In
Money.
1999, almost
Real
300
money.
years after it last closed, Scottish Parliament reopened for the first time. This was after the Scotland Act was passed in
300
1998, which
years
established
later?
a Scottish Parliament and government that would have responsibility for the laws that were specific to Scotland. Number 40.
Oh,
In 2014,
shit.
Scotland
So,
held a
like,
referendum about Scottish
so the Queen
independence.
really don't
In
mean
response to the
shit, for
question,
real.
should Scotland be an
Y'all still
independent
technically
country,
have, like, a real
45%
government.
or 1,617,989 people voted yes, whilst 55% of voters, or just over 2 million people, voted no. Scotland
Damn.
has remained part of the United Kingdom ever since. Again, as of this video recording. Number 41. As I said earlier, Scotland
why would
shares
you
its
not?
southern border with England. Also surrounding the country, though, is the Atlantic Ocean to the west, the North Sea to the east. Oh, and that's it. The meaning of life. Ireland is just 13 miles away to the southwest from the peninsula of Kintyre, and Norway is about 190 miles to the east. To the north, though, are the Faroe Islands, but they're part of the Kingdom of Denmark. Number 43. Scotland has more than 790 islands, but only around 100 of these islands are actually inhabited. Most of the Scottish islands can be found to the north and west of mainland Scotland. Number 44. Those islands to the north and west of Scotland are grouped into 3 island groups: Shetland, Orkney, and the Hebrides. The Hebrides are also further split into Inner and Outer Hebrides.
Oh my god,
Number
it's like a
45.
swamp.
The largest of Scotland's islands is Lewis and Harris on the
Does that
Outer
not flood?
Hebrides,
You
and
could
the
just
third
live up
largest in
there?
the entire UK, if you consider mainland UK and Ireland to be islands themselves. It also has the largest island population in Scotland, which makes sense, right? At around 21,000. Number 46.
Wow.
One of the most famous islands of Scotland is the Isle of Skye, located in the Inner Hebrides. It's the second largest Scottish island and one of the rockiest and most mountainous places in Scotland. Number 47. Scotland's also home to the largest waterfall in the entire UK. Essacollalewin in Sutherland has a sheer drop of 200 metres. When it's in full flow, it's actually higher than Niagara Falls.
Damn.
Number 48. Speaking of big things, Ben Nevis is not the name of some bloke, but it is the name of a mountain in the Highland region of Lochaber, and it's the tallest mountain in the United Kingdom. We don't really have that many though. It stands at 4,413 feet tall, or around 723 of me stood on top of each other. I wouldn't want to be the bottom one. Number
Damn,
49.
there used to be hella water.
The summit of the
up there.
mountain is actually the collapsed dome of an
Is
ancient
that,
volcano.
are those lines
and
only
it's the
from?
highest
Can
point
they
in
be
any
from
direction
rain?
for
No, because it can't
459
rain that
miles,
much.
where you'd reach the Scandinavian mountains of Norway. Number 50. You know what goes hand in hand with mountains, right? That's right, rivers deep. Thanks, Tina Turner. Well, the longest river in Scotland is the River Tay. Its source can be found in Ben Louis in the Scottish Highlands, and it runs a whopping 120 miles to the mouth between Perth and Dundee, where it runs into the North Sea.
Wow.
Number 51. One of the largest castles in Scotland is Urquhart Castle, on the banks of Loch Ness. Many miracles are said to have been performed here during the early days of Christianity in Scotland. England and Scotland fought over the land many times throughout history, which led to it falling into ruins, but that in turn created a stunning view of the loch.
What?
Number 52.
How?
The Mount of Hamar on the island of Papa West
How they balance that?
is said to be the oldest and best preserved stone house in the whole of Northern Europe. It dates back to between 3700 to 2800 BC, and even has surviving stone cupboards and stalls. Number
Wow.
53. Aberdeen has the nickname the Granite City, as huge volumes of granite can be found there. So much so that its granite was used to build London's Houses of Parliament, Trafalgar Square, Waterloo Bridge, the Thames Embankment, and much more. Number 54.
And they still got more?
Off the coast of Angus in Scotland is Bell Rock Lighthouse, which is one of the 7 wonders of the industrial world. Why is that, you ask? It's because it's the world's oldest surviving sea-washed lighthouse. Yeah, you're welcome. Number 55. Another iconic location in Scotland is Balmoral
The fuck is a
Castle,
sea-washed
which, as viewers of
lighthouse?
the
What does that
Crown will
mean?
know, is the British
It's
royal
like the
family's
only one
holiday
that
home,
close to the
owned by
sea?
Queen
I don't-
Elizabeth
what
II
does that mean?
herself, and is not part of the Crown Estate. It's all just Lizzie's. Number 56.
Damn, we started watching this. Everybody left. My bad, chat. What the fuck?
Balmoral was actually bought by Prince Albert, the husband of Queen Victoria, back in 1848. The house was quite small when they first built it, and so they had a larger version constructed that would accommodate their big family and all of their staff. Number 57. Balmoral Castle, as it stands today, was finished in 1856, and the old house was demolished. The royal family have continued to use it since, with various improvements such as formal gardens, a water garden, and new staff buildings being made since. Number 58. The Castle of May in Caithness also has royal connections after being purchased by the Queen Mother in 1952 after the passing of her husband, King George VI. She had the derelict castle repaired and made fit for use, regularly visiting until her death in 2002.
What?
Number 59. The National Day of Scotland is St Andrew's Day on the 30th of November. People use that day to celebrate Scottish culture, cuisine, and of course dance. St Andrew is a patron saint of Scotland, even though he'd never actually visited. Also, we're celebrating it by putting this video out a month before it. Number 60. English is the official language in Scotland, much to their chagrin, but there are over 170 different languages spoken in the country. The ancient Celtic language of Gaelic is still used in Scotland, and is believed to be the founding language of the country. Number 61. Scotland is also home to the Highland Games. They take place from Cowal to Tomintoul, and are a unique mix of more than 60 sporting, cultural and social events, including track and field, Highland dancing, tug of war, and most famously, the Scottish hammer throw. Number 62.
Oh, I want to see that.
The Scottish hammer throw, not to be confused with the Olympic hammer throw, features a metal ball weighing up to 10 kilograms on a 4-foot shaft, which is then spun around the competitor's head before throwing forward. The competitor cannot spin around like the Olympic one, they have to stay grounded in one spot. Number 63.
Oh, that's why they have
The
those
Gamer
like.
Toss is another iconic event where competitors throw a large wooden pole with the aim of hurling it in as straight a line as possible, so it lands at the 12 o'clock position from the thrower, or tosser. Although, you shouldn't call people that. The pole's usually made from a large tree and is between 16 to 20 feet, weighing between 41 to 68 kilograms.
Damn.
Nintendo 64. Highland dancing is a style of dance that developed in the Scottish Highlands in the 19th century. It was a form of Gaelic folk dance, but has become more formalised with the rise in popularity of ballet and other dance styles outside the Highlands. Number 65. The dances are often performed to Highland bagpipe music, and dancers wear soft leather dance shoes called gillies. The men often wear a hat called a balmoral, and both male and female dancers wear a tartan kilt. Number 66. Tartan is probably one of the most iconic, albeit stereotypical things associated with Scotland. It's an important part of Scottish culture, with the different colours and patterns representing various clans across history.
Oh
Number
wow,
67.
it's like that deep.
As well as their tartans, each clan has its own crest badge. The badge consists of the clan chief's crest, circled by a strap and buckle which has their motto on it. Technically, the badge belongs to the chief, and each clan member can wear it to show allegiance, but it always belongs to the chief. Number 68.
How do you
That's
say?
dope.
Clan Donaghy, or Clan Robertson, is said to be one of the oldest in Scotland, with links to the royal house of Atholl, who ruled the Scottish throne in the 11th and 12th centuries.
Is that a man?
69.
Was that a chick? That's scary. All right, my fault.
Laddie. The largest clan, though, is said to be Clan MacDonald of Clanranald. Their history goes as far back as fighting alongside Robert the Bruce during the Wars of Scottish Independence all the way back in 1314, by which I mean the year, not the time. Number 70. Every year, more than 50,000 people gather in Edinburgh to celebrate Scottish culture at the annual clan gathering. During the gathering, the great clans of Scotland parade the Royal Mile through the capital, proudly representing their history. Number 71.
That's cool as fuck.
And what accompanies that parade? Only the most iconic of instruments. Well, the most iconic to be associated with Scotland anyway.
Bagpipe!
The bagpipes.
Oh.
The bagpipes are literally a bag of air with a number of pipes sticking out of them that produce one of the loudest sounds in the universe. Okay, that last bit is more subjective than fact, but my god, they are loud.
Yeah, and they
Number
sound
72.
fucking beautiful.
While it might be most famous for use in Scotland, bagpipes actually are said to have come from ancient Egypt, brought over by invading Roman legions. The current form we see the bagpipes in now, though, was definitely developed by the Highlanders of Scotland. Number 73. Scotland has quite a history with tennis. They claim to have the oldest tennis court in the world, with the Royal Tennis Court of Falkland Palace, built in 1539 for James V. And of course, tennis legend Andy Murray was born and raised in Scotland. Although when he wins, we like to say he's British. Number 74. Speaking of sports, Scotland is also where you can find St Andrew's Links. Nothing to do with Zelda, but it is to do with the biggest public golf complex in Europe because, well, that's what it is. Golf is said to have been played there since the 15th century.
I fucking knew it.
Number 75. I know a lot of you love your gin, but did you know that Scotland produces around 70% of all of the UK's gin? With more than 100 different kinds of the boozy beverage. So next time you go to the bar, remember to enjoy a shot of Scottish gin. Not bad. Number 76. What Scotland is really famous for, though, in the drinky world is whiskey. Scotland ships 39 bottles of Scotch whiskey every second.
God
to classify
damn!
as Scotch, it has to be produced in Scotland and matured in oak casks for at least 3 years. Scotch is understandably their national drink and is the biggest export in the whole of the UK. Number 77.
Damn.
Just to really Scottish hammer throw home the importance of the whiskey industry in Scotland, whiskey exports earn between £125 to £135 a second, making it a key part of Scotland's economy. Number 78. I guess it's not a surprise then that the largest bottle of whiskey can also be found in the country. The famous Grouse Experience in 2012 holds the record with a 1.8 metre tall bottle that holds 311 litres of whiskey. Sounds like a good pre-drink sesh to me.
Oh, I need that.
Number 79. Scotland has an unofficial other national drink, though. Yep, that's right, I'm talking Iron Brew. If you've never had it, it's not my favourite, but there's a reason it's the most popular soft drink in Scotland. In fact, it's one of the few countries in the entire world where a Coca-Cola brand drink isn't the most popular soft drink.
It's kind of crazy.
Number 80. Of course, one of Scotland's most famous foods and their national dish is haggis. Haggis is basically a big ball of mashed up sheep heart, liver and lungs mixed with onion, oatmeal, suet and spices. All stuffed into the lining of a sheep's stomach.
For real.
If it makes you feel better, they don't always use the stomach lining now, they just use something similar to sausage casing. Didn't make me feel that much better, but hey, some people like it. Number 81. Scotland also produces over 2/3 of the world's langoustine or scampi, a small lobster thing dubbed the most important commercial crustacean in Europe.
Why is it not more
lobsters are
travel?
also available in Michelin-style restaurants across the world, including 20 in Japan alone. Oh, and they have loads of scallops and other fresh seafood, so if you're a seafood lover, you'll have a great time.
How's all this shit from Scotland, but nobody
Of course,
like?
another Scottish
I feel like I
food
would
that's pretty
hear so
famous
much more
is their
shit
beef,
about Scotland.
specifically the Aberdeen Angus. The Angus is the world's leading beef brand and is exported across the globe, as are their cattle, because in 2017, the Aberdeen Angus was the most populous beef cattle. Number 83. One of the oldest universities in the world can be found in Scotland, the University of St Andrews, which was founded in 1413. It's the oldest of the 4 ancient universities of Scotland and the 3rd oldest university in the English-speaking world after Oxford and Cambridge. Number 84.
Pull up in
The Teviot Row at Edinburgh University is credited as the oldest students' union building in the world, opening its doors on the 19th of October, 1889. Number 85. In the 1990s, the Roslin Institute, which is part of the University of Edinburgh, successfully cloned the first mammal from an adult cell. Not a human, but it was a sheep, and her name was Dolly, named after Dolly Parton.
Dolly.
Number 86. That's not the only scientific innovation to come from Scotland, though. Scotsman Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone in 1876. The television was invented by Scotsman John Logie Baird in 1926. The toaster was invented by Alan McMasters in 1893, and the fridge was invented by another Scottish man called William Cullen in 1748. How else would they keep the iron brew cold? Number 87. James Watt, another Scottish inventor, is also credited with making one of the biggest improvements to the steam engine that helped it avoid energy waste, making it far more efficient. This improvement in the 18th century had a huge effect on the speed of the Industrial Revolution. Number 88. A Scottish inventor can also be thanked for the invention of the colour photograph. That's right, James Clerk Maxwell introduced his three-colour process to taking coloured photographs back in 1855. His first picture was of a
So he's the one who made it for the whites.
Number 89. Medicine has a lot to thank Scotland for too. Most famously, Sir Alexander Fleming, the discoverer of penicillin, was Scottish. But in addition to that, the University of Aberdeen made huge breakthroughs with MRI scanners, and Scottish physician, which is surprisingly hard to say, Alexander Wood, invented the first hypodermic needle in 1853.
Damn!
Number 90. The final Scottish invention that we'll mention is possibly the one we take for granted most in the Western world, the flushing toilet. Scottish mechanic Alexander Cumming came up with the S-bend plumbing system back in 1755, and it's still used with pretty much every flushing toilet today. Thank you, Mr. Cumming. Number 91. Those of you who have played Red Dead Redemption and its sequel will be familiar with the Pinkerton Detective Agency.
Oh,
Alan
shit!
Pinkerton, the founder of said detective agency, and the man regarded as the world's first private eye, was actually from Scotland, born in Glasgow in 1819. Number 92.
The Pinkertons.
A lot of us are aware of the Encyclopedia Britannica,
Boys
also known as
shooters.
the Wikipedia of the past. But did you know it actually originated in Scotland from the great mind of the Edinburgh bookseller Colin MacFarquhar? Well, now you know. Number 93. The Potterheads amongst you will probably recognise some Scottish landscape, especially the Glenfinnan Viaduct, where the Hogwarts Express would steam ahead, and near there, Loch Shiel, where lots—
You know, I always thought viaducts, I always thought that was just for water. I didn't know niggas, like, I thought, like, just every time I saw one, I thought it was just meant to carry water. I didn't know it was
so
anything
the
else.
scenes for Hogwarts Lake were filmed. Number 94. In fact, a lot of the inspiration for parts of Harry Potter books came from Edinburgh, as that's where J.K. Rowling was living at the time she was writing the Philosopher's Stone, or Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah, she wished she looked like
Some
that,
local
man.
cafes have put signs up if the boy wizard was written about in their walls. Number 95. A number of other famous films and TV shows have been set and filmed in Scotland. The Scottish Highlands are famously the backdrop for the show Outlander, and of course the iconic Scottish movie Trainspotting is set in Scotland and filmed in Glasgow and Edinburgh.
Ain't nobody seen
Number
them
96.
shits.
Parts of the James Bond movie Skyfall were filmed in Glencoe, Scotland, and the 2006 hit film The Da Vinci Code, remember that? Filmed scenes at Rosslyn Chapel just south of Edinburgh.
I remember seeing it, but I don't really remember nothing about it, for real.
Have also filmed parts in Scotland too.
Oh,
Number
wow.
97. On the 17th of July 1695, one of the oldest banks in the UK was founded, now known as the Bank of Scotland. In the following year, paper money was launched and the Bank of Scotland became the first commercial bank in Europe to successfully issue paper money.
Damn.
Number 98. The Caledonian Forests of Scotland are the only place in the world you can find the Scottish crossbill, a species of crossbill birds. It's actually the only creature that's endemic to the whole of the UK. They have a distinct flight and excitement calls compared to other crossbills, and some claim they somehow have Scottish accents. Number 99.
What's the actual fucking point of a pine cone? Like, what the fuck does that shit do? What is the point of it?
The national animal for Scotland isn't the crossbill though, it is the unicorn. Seriously. The unicorn is symbolic of fierce independence, and in myths, they're always difficult to—
See, now it all makes sense. It all makes sense. I knew Mark was a little thought. I knew
capture
it.
or conquer,
Little
much like
fruitcake.
Scotland itself.
I knew it.
It was introduced into the Scottish Royal Coat of Arms in the mid-1500s. Number 100. Here are some famous Scottish people for you. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, author of the Sherlock Holmes stories. Sir J.M. Barrie, author of Peter Pan. Sir Sean Connery, Ewan McGregor, James McAvoy, Kelly MacDonald, Sir Alex Ferguson of Manchester United fame. Sir Chris Hoy of Bikes. And Angus and Malcolm Young of AC/DC fame. Oh, and of course Gordon Ramsay, who was born in Scotland and trained to be part of the Rangers football
So
team before
I've
becoming
known
a
about
chef.
3 of these people so
Number
far.
101. There are more redheads in Scotland than anywhere else in the world, including Karen Gillan, the best redhead in the world and just an all-round lovely lady. Those are 101 facts about
that's
Scotland.
cap,
Do you
though.
live there? Have you
The
been? Let me
best?
know in the comments down below. While you're down there, please give us a like and also subscribe to join the Motherfactor Army. I mean, I won't actually call on you for armed forces or defense. In fact, I might. Stay tuned. In the meantime, though, 2 videos on screen that are really going to wet your whistle and you're going to dig them real deep. Why not give one a click and I'll see you there. Goodbye now.
Don't wet your whistle.